Welcome back to our channel, The Recovery Family. I'm Ashley Morgan.
I'm Pierre Morgan, and if you're new, welcome. I'll explain some about our channel. Our channel is about us talking about recovery, family manners, and life on life terms. We made this channel to help people, other families out, and other recovering alcoholics and addicts, man. So if you like that, man, make sure you subscribe, man. Make sure you give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, and comment. Let us know how you feel about this channel. Okay, today's topic is how did COVID-19 affect our recovery in our lives? When COVID-19 hit, I really wasn't like panic mode. I was like really into my relationship with God and my recovery, so it really wasn't a shocker for me. I don't know about you.
Not at first. It didn't bother me at first. I thought it was awesome to have a break from work and not have to go nowhere and do nothing, because normally our lives are so hectic and filled with stuff on the go. So at first I was fine with it.
Yeah, at first we was like, yeah, because we were getting paid to stay at home. But as time goes on, man, we started seeing a lot of people dying. And I deal with depression, so I had to really find some ways. I started really working out. This is when I started working out to really help with my depression of being stay in the house, because we have 7 kids, man.
Yeah, so, and then we also started the Zoom meeting that was Monday through Saturday for an hour and a half every day. And that was a good outlet for a while we were doing that. But then I don't know what happened. I think I got sick.
Yeah, she had got sick and real sick. She had to go to the hospital, and that was crazy. Like, cause the hospitals were the offices were closed, right? Were they closed?
Yeah, I had to have meetings or visits with my doctor via Zoom.
Yeah.
And she was trying to tell me what was wrong with me via Zoom without laying eyes on me or being able to, interact personally. That was crazy.
Yeah, I remember going to the hospital, man, and I was bugging out because they didn't tell me like what's going on with my wife.
Well, hold on, back up though, because I ended up having to have surgery.
Yeah.
So, long story short, during all this COVID, they weren't allowing surgeries. They weren't allowing elective surgeries. In other words, not life-threatening surgery. So if you were going to die from something, you pretty much had to wait it out. This is actually a huge part of this story, because this is when my doctor prescribed me pain pills via Zoom to help with what was going on with my body. And that was actually the beginning of my downfall. Didn't know it at the time, right? But because of that, and because I wasn't able to, go in to see the doctor and get other methods of pain relief, I started taking the pain pills as prescribed.
Yeah, as prescribed. I had them. I was getting them to her.
But that eventually led to my relapse.
Yeah, and 'cause they closed all the meetings, so we started doing Zoom meetings. See, I got real involved in my program because there was no one around to help keep me clean. So I reminded myself that I wasn't gonna go back. And if I was gonna die from anything, it would have been the disease of addiction. You know what I'm saying? Like, COVID-19 is not gonna take me out. But that's my belief about COVID-19. But it is serious. I do see a lot of people dying from COVID-19 because they're not taking it serious. My kids, they didn't really get in panic mode because, again, God's the head of our household. So we teach our kids to have faith in God and in that situation. So, I started working out, getting real involved, and it wasn't like a big tragedy for us. You know what I'm saying? For my wife, it was like a lot on us because we had all 7 kids, and she deals with anxiety.
Yeah, it was a different story for me than it was for my husband. We're 2 different people. We handle things differently. And even with doing the Zoom meetings, I think everything all hit me at once with being sick and being stuck in the house. We couldn't go anywhere for recreation or to get out of the house.
Yeah.
So we were surrounded with ourselves and, our kids 24/7, which, like, literally within, I would say, probably 2 months, 3 months into COVID, I was going crazy.
Yeah, she was going crazy no matter what I did. I was trying to get her to work out, and she didn't want to work out. It was a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people used during COVID-19. It seemed like they just forgot about the addicts because, it was a pandemic for addicts dying. When COVID-19 hit, they stopped caring about us. And I went out there and got busy, man. I tried to help much people I can help, man. But it was real tough, and we was fighting a lot, man. and we was fighting a lot, and I didn't know what to do, man. I was doing everything possible I can possibly do to give my wife peace, and I was like the hummer in the house, you know what I'm saying? Like I was, man, because somebody had to be peaceful in the house, you know. Somebody, especially with 7 kids, somebody had to be peaceful. Someone had to stay in recovery, you know what I'm saying? Because my wife was headed to a brick wall, man. And there's nothing I can do about it. I was powerless, man. No matter which way I went about it, man, I was powerless. So I had to let time be time. Like, I had to let her have her own process. So, you know, if you're going through that with anybody in your relationship, man, I know it's hard, man. Make sure you know, comment, let us know about if you're going through any problems like that or how COVID-19 affects you. I stayed, man. I end up, you know, you end up using.
Yeah, but there was a process to that. It didn't just sneak up on me.
Yeah.
I mean, it did sneak up on me, but it wasn't like we didn't see the signs or I didn't see the signs. I just wasn't aware of them at the time.
So, yeah, she just wasn't aware about it, and it's crazy because the disease of addiction will catch you through, you know what I'm saying, other areas of your life, you know what I'm saying, because it uses people, places, and things to catch you, you know what I'm saying, and since I was self-aware of it, I could see it, you know what I'm saying. It literally talks about how we can see ourselves coming before, you know what I'm saying, before it comes. And I worked on my anger. I worked on a lot of things in this COVID-19. Really, it was the best time for me to get right with God and get right with self, you know what I'm saying, because, you know, I was like, forget that, man. You know what I mean? I want to enjoy if this is going to be the last days of my life, you know what I'm saying, at least I want to be happy and humble, like, because again I think the world was going to end. You know, I think the world's ending soon. That's just my belief because there's so much crazy shit, crazy stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? So I really just want to be peaceful with myself and my higher power if it comes to get me. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where I was at. And it was just sad seeing people, you know, struggle because we never had to struggle during this pandemic. We never not once worried about money.
Not
like,
financially.
Financially, we never was like, we was good. You know what I'm saying? With 7 kids, you know, because, you know, the unemployment really helped us out, but again, I didn't know how to manage money that well. So I have a problem managing money that well. So I really let my wife do that stuff. So if you have a problem managing money, let your wife do it. You know what I'm talking about? But also, I want to talk about if you do have a spouse using. I left, so and what I learned about leaving from my spouse, because you know they always tell you gotta protect yourself. You gotta protect yourself, right, from anybody using. But you know, our primary purpose is to serve the still sick and suffering addict, and the still suffering addict was my wife. So I had to stay and be her hope shot. You know what I'm saying? I'm not advising you to stay. I'm not advising you to you know, deal with that. You feel what I'm saying? Because a lot of people just don't want to stay clean. But you know, you never know. Like, you never know what your higher power can do for you. I had to be still, man. I had to be still and let my wife have her own process, and I end up coming back home, man, and being there for my wife. And I really had to forgive her because, you know, forgiveness is a daily thing. It's like a daily thing.
Sometimes multiple times a day.
Yeah, sometimes multiple times a day. So if you're going through a relationship like that, it's real vital that you practice that. You know what I'm saying? I say this all the time. It's very vital that you get right with self, because if you don't get right with self, there's no way you can love somebody else, no matter what you do.
It's true. It's true. You got to make sure that you have your own program, your own higher power, and your own way of dealing with things before you can bring somebody else in. Hurt people. You said that in your last video.
Yeah, hurt people.
And it's not intentional. You know, sometimes it's just you're a casualty of war.
Yeah. Like when we got with each other, we was both broken. You know what I'm saying? So it was hard for us to really have a relationship, because we jumped in right into family. Like, family, you know, we did everything backwards. You know how you date first, you go out to dinner, you have sex, you get to know each other. No, we jumped right into family, man. You know what I'm saying? Like married couple, and without having you know, years clean or develop ourselves in a program. And so it was very hard, her dealing with what she was dealing with, I was dealing with what I was dealing with. And so the process of trying to do that is difficult if you don't have a program. So we advise you to get a program. We advise you to really dig deeper if you're in a relationship, because recovery also teaches you how to, you know, love your wife. Also teaches you how to deal with
Patience, compassion, empathy, understanding, being unselfish, forgiving, caring.
Yeah, these are all principles that we taught. You know what I'm saying?
These are principles that we should have known or probably knew before active addiction, and just
Yeah.
during active addiction they fell off to the wayside because it's a self-centered disease, right?
Yeah, we core as these self-centered. Like I think I was taught this when I was younger, and some down the line I just lost it by some type of pain. I gave up. You know what I'm saying? And then with my wife, you know, she used to tell me like 10 times a day, "I'm not here to hurt you." You know what I'm saying? It was hard for me to process love. You know what I'm saying? It was very hard for me to process love because I was so damaged in the past that, you know, it was very tough for
It's
me.
hard to process any feeling
Yeah, that's why we
clean.
use.
It
That's why.
really is. I mean, like the good feelings, you know, it's not hard to process the good feelings, I don't think. I think that it's our choice whether we want to let them good feelings in or not, because sometimes we just become too comfortable with the familiar pain, or too comfortable in misery, or, you know, being depressed, that when something good happens,
Uh,
we don't believe that it's good, or
Yeah.
you know, we think about, okay, it's good now, but tomorrow it's not going to be good, projecting, you know, problems, because that's how our life normally went, was bad. So it's easier to stay in that, you
yeah.
know, pain or that misery.
That's what, you know, it's a daily thing. That's why we say just for the day, man. Just for the day, man, we're going to try to be happy. Just for the day, we're going to try to, you know, say positive stuff, because it's dealing with negativity in the family or period as an addict or alcoholic is too much, man, because, you know, that's why we use, because to numb our pain and our emotions. So we try not to, you know, use on our emotions or even say bad things when we get angry. You know, I always talk about men dealing with women in recovery, but my wife talk about women dealing with men in recovery.
I just want to say real quick, sometimes just for today is even too much for me.
Mhm.
Sometimes thinking about the next 24 hours is too much for me, depending on the situation. You know, if there's chaos at home with the kids, or there are things that ain't going right at work, or, you know, school issues, sometimes thinking about just for today is too much for me. Sometimes I have to just think about just for right now.
Yeah, this right now.
Like, just for right now, during this video, I'm gonna try to remain peaceful, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
when I go back in the house and have the kids screaming in my face, we'll deal with that. You know, then that's just for right now.
Just for right now, yeah.
So sometimes just for today is too much. And if there's too much, just do for right now, just for this moment.
Yeah, take 1 second at a time.
I'm just being honest.
Yeah,
And that's a lot of days of my life is just for right now, just for this situation. We're gonna deal with this just for right now.
Yeah. Yeah, so I really like what she said, you know what I'm saying? Because we're different how we process emotions, you know what I'm saying? We don't show it, you know what I'm saying? It's all mental, you feel what I'm saying? So if you're dealing with the mental part, you know what I'm saying, learn how to give yourself positive inside your brain, you know what I'm saying? I think meditation is real good. Happiness with some tools that you find joy. See, I watch a lot of music videos, or I listen to a lot of positive stuff to keep my mind positive. But, you know, in that area, you know what I'm saying? But also, yeah, I want to get back to my wife talking about women dealing with men in recovery.
So this is a long subject.
Go ahead, let's get it.
Okay, so first off, I want to say that when I first came to recovery, it was not for me. I did not come to recovery to make my life better, to improve myself. I came to recovery to keep my relationship intact. That was a bad idea. It wasn't a bad idea to come to recovery. It was a bad idea to do it for somebody else or something besides myself, because it wasn't. My intentions were not to fix myself, but to keep my relationship. So from the beginning of my recovery, it wasn't for me, which is very vital. You know, it's a program that you need to want, not need. You need to want to be in recovery. If you don't have a desire to be in recovery, if you don't have a desire to change your life, to change your outlook, to change your thinking, you're bound to go back to the old way of thinking, because it's not a desire. It's more of a necessity, or like a forced feeling, and it's not a good way to begin your recovery. Mistake number 2 that I made was when I did come to recovery. I did not listen to the simple suggestions. They told me to get a sponsor. I got a sponsor, never called her. Didn't, my sponsor told me at that time, call me every day for the first 30 days. And that's just to build a relationship, right? So that's to build trust. So you can get through some stuff with your sponsor and talk about your secrets and your demons, and that's who you go to with it. And the reason they say call for the first 30 days is so that you can build that relationship and build that trust, because I'm not going to tell a stranger all my dirty shit. So I didn't call her, didn't build that relationship, right? I had a sponsor though, so I was doing the bare minimum. That became another problem, because then I didn't build relationships with other women in the program, because I felt like, number one, I don't trust nobody. I don't trust women. I don't trust men. I trust nobody. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Not there yet. So I didn't, build other relationships with other women in the program. And I say women. Now, this may not be for everybody, but me specifically, I feel like I get the most help and with myself and my issues from women, because I don't feel like a man can tell me about my emotions or how I feel as a woman or how to process feelings as a woman, because he's not a woman. That's just me. I'm not saying that the message can't be carried by a man, that you can't hear something in a meeting from a man that will click with you, because yeah, that happens. But the relationships that I should have built in recovery should have been with other recovering women who have been through what I've been through and are doing what I'm doing, or trying to do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So that when shit hit the fan, I had people to call who were living in recovery rather than, my girls on the streets. But I love them too. But I love them from a distance now. I love all of my girlfriends that are still out there, who haven't found recovery, who haven't found a new way to live. I love them from a distance. And that's just for my safety, because I've realized now after my only relapse, let me not say last relapse, it was my only relapse. But after this situation last month, it was way too easy for me to call my girlfriend on the streets, who was still, doing what she does, and get what I want to get, and right back to square one.
Yeah. And that's why I don't deal with none of my friends. I'm glad you talked about that, because it's like it leaves open doors for reservations. You know what I'm saying? If I know my boys out there still drinking and selling drugs, you know what I'm saying? Why would I still indulge in them? You get what I'm saying? I'm bound to drink, you know what I'm saying, or sell drugs. They say you can't keep going to a barbershop without getting your hair cut. So it's like I don't associate with nobody that's involved in any type of unspiritual things, you know what I'm saying? But I do help people that are not involved in unspiritual things. Like I got friends that I do help out, that I call for encouragement, but I don't indulge. I'm like, what's up? You want to chill? You want to hang out? If I know you doing any type of drugs or selling any type of drugs, but I will answer the phone and give you some hope. Like I haven't forgot where I come from, because they say if you forget where you come from, you're doomed to repeat it. So I never forgot where I come from, and I always trying to get back. So because a lot of us are still dying, not from just COVID-19, from the disease of addiction, you know what I'm saying? So I really make this because a lot of us can't go to Zoom meetings, you know what I'm saying? So that's it. But so that's it for our show, man. We're not gonna give you all that one time, man. But we got part 2 of how a disease of addiction and relapse affected our life, and we'll talk more about that. And ask us some questions, man. Comment, man. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down if you like this channel. If you
any topics you want us to discuss?
We can talk about. We can talk about interracial couple. That's a good one. We'll talk about that one. Okay. Until next time. This is a Recovery Family channel, and we love you, and we out. Peace.